Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. So we're gonna do a look into the unknown, the psychic medium reading about obscurities, and let's see here. What do we need to know? Today is January 6th, 2026, and the word I keep hearing is cake. So when I hear cake, you really can't actually like do anything like well or wrong when it comes to obscurity, but you literally have to like live it out. And when you live it out, you can't be it out. Like you can't sting it out. And when you can't sting it out, you can't even have a say about it. So that literally means like people start like crying. And when they start crying, you can't even do like at all. So what would in like in today's world with obscurity, which means the really hard like not there. Like when you see obscurity, just think of this motion like it's not there. It's one of those tricks. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Because it's really, really hard. Really, really hard. Okay. So all you need to know is something is just not well. When you see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, something is not well. When you hear the word cake, when it comes to obscurities, it's something on like a horizon, something on a new path, on a new way of a new like one. And all of a sudden, I hear Wu Tang Clan, and I'm like, why do I have to hear cake and Wu Tang Clan? And I'm like, what is it actually like coming in through? So when I look at it and I go, me being a magician and knowing well, if I hear the word cake, I'm like, something is gonna go like wrong, really wrong. So let's look at it a little bit deeper. What is obscure for the next week that we are hearing the word cake? There's an ending of a partnership. There's an ending of a path of known. There's an ending of anything that could be. There's a huge like severing. So I don't want to say divorce when I see the lover's card in reverse. I hear severing. When I see this and I see Page of Pentacles in reverse, there's no like money or contract or paper or anything left on the table that you can like go in and discuss. But when you see this and you see the Three of Swords in reverse, it really doesn't hurt as bad, but it's still hurtful. So when I see this, it has to deal with like a type of inhibition that came in of like a cement or like a like calling out or like a do it wrong and like doing it on your own way. When I see this card, the Devil in reverse, that is the actual confirmation. So when I see this and I see the Five of Cups in reverse, it does alleviate the loss, LOSS. But when I look at it and I see the Five of Swords right here, it really has to come to something that's known. So known for me is something like if somebody got dinged in the head, it really has to go with like seeing colors in your eyes, like a head injury. And they see really distorted. They're seeing stars, they're seeing all sorts of distortion. So it almost becomes like a steel. So when you see it and they start running with it, whatever they see, because it's true, you have to say like the Six of Wands in reverse is no victory. So I wouldn't have to say like cake, but it becomes like a halt stop. It really becomes like a don't go to it. So then when people are like in I don't know why I'm saying this vision, like people are in like their face and they're like, no, I'm right. I'm right about this. You can't even do it. Like you can't even go like full hermit mode, and like you can't even believe it. Like the hermit card comes right out. I go, there's something about hidden motives in the next week that has to talk about cake. Now I do see like a sheet of cake. When I see cake though, I'm seeing piles of paperwork. It's coming in a little bit clearer. Piles. When I see this and I see justice, it is judicial in a way. Like why is this like cake in a protein shake? And I see this and I go, Five of like wands. It comes in really hard and like difficult. But when I see this and I go the Ten of Swords, I just really, really can't even like there. It's really hard, ending, like a hard ending. It does give some relief though. It is not the best, and I keep seeing people call out like a soul contracts again. So I'll have to take a look at it because it's going to cause unrest. I'm seeing really like more on a Tuesday mediumship right now. What do we need to know about the soul contracts and cake? It takes the cake. An old saying in the mob, the mafia, and the affiliations, when you go and you go on it and you be a bay and you just like go and do whatever you want. Now it is like a wish fulfilled and it is unrest when it comes to cake in that sense. But it really is like something that's really not the best when it comes to contracts. What is this? All right. When you see this, you see like High Priestess. It is a working of all oneself. It is nasty, ill justice. It is nasty, like teamwork, apprenticeship, and working together about soul contracts. It's very past life, like very past life. When I see this and I see the six of swords, you can't actually move on. Like it's really difficult, even though you want to. Now, some would bring up karma and some would come up like wishes fulfilled to like lessons learned at round table or anything of that nature. But it doesn't make sense whatsoever when it does happen. It is like severe solitary confinement to a degree when I see a soul contract. Now I see this and I see Knight of Wands in reverse. I go, it really is slow, like when you're seeing traffic. Traffic for me when I see cake and soul contracts and anything about like karma and to that degree, the Knight of Wands really goes, how slow can the water be with a water sign in this card? Because then you see the Queen of Cups in reverse and it's so counterintuitive. You have to say like something else is ill, but they're happy. There's like a type of contentment. Alrighty, let's pull some other cards. It's something, so it is confirming like it's ancient past, it's lore. I'm seeing gold coins. I'm seeing when they do like a smoke a toka loka hoke. They really shouldn't be doing that anymore. When I see this and I see a lion, it brings me back to like Astor and Vanderbilt and Getty and like all these things that we kept talking about. Like they were good when they wrote something. When you see this and you see identity and you see like doll, it's kind of an illusion of old runes. You see cake and soul contracts. When you see this and you see apple and you see identity, hunger, senses, again, like senses, doesn't make sense. Here we go. All right. Bravery. Like they come forward and I'm seeing like what they do. Like I don't know why I'm seeing down south. I'm seeing Madame Lalaurie, Marie Laveau. I'm seeing them come again to the table. I'm seeing something that is like guarded. I'm seeing like toxic masculinity to like pork and to like libel and to lobbyists and stuff like that. When I see this and I see apple, I go again, like there's like this craving for something. And then illusion and old wounds. So when I see it and I see endurance, you really gotta pace yourself if you find something like this, or like a type of curse that keeps like you just can't get rid of it. So there's something in dark. So again, you have obscurity, and then like it is like in the dark. It's almost obscurity into occultism. So it's right there. It's tangible. You can figure it out. But when you look at it and you go belonging, and you see identity, and then you see eel, there's a type of like where we're going back to like imposter syndrome, and then like jugging and fraud and everything. I feel like it's like really on this path of where it's coming in through. When you see this and you see the subconscious right in the back of the head, and you talk about family, it's like you talk about old arguments coming up. And then when you see it and you see loss and you see healing, then you actually start seeing like your loved ones, like ancestors and mediumship or anything, or they come back and they show you like signs, what you need to know. And because there's something like it's reappearing, it's nostalgia. So when I see it and I see transformation, there's something new on the end of the mend of getting new where you can't actually like see it through. You know what I mean? So let's look at another deck. What do they want us to know? Okay. My will to thy will and micromanaging the universe, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. There's something new. There's something really new. Like you can't believe it at all. Here we go. Hidden secrets, also wisdom, look a little deeper. There's like new ideas coming to the plate. And then you see like power places and ley lines and trust where you're led. And then when you see this and you see soul memories and gifts and you've done this before, absolutely, like you look back and you're like, why am I so good at this? Some people say, and they're like, well, I probably have done it before, maybe in a past life or something like that. I don't know. They do say that. But none of this matters to like zoom out common ground. It like everything that's going on in the news and like everything in daily life, I'm seeing more like common ground. Like what is the meet in the middle term? When you see this and you see surrender and holding the opposites and extremes of life, and when you see this and you see rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. And then when you see this and you go, the pulse of mother, slow down time in nature, like you're seeing people as they are, and there's really not much like to offer or else to offer, but something is new coming. So when you see cake and you see soul contracts and any of that nature, like you actually have to go forward. Energetic serenity, absorbing what is not yours. Absolutely. I'm seeing more like pious takes the cake. I don't know why. But when I look at this and I see it's happening and you keep holding the vision and you're like, I know it's right there. There's something about this Mars anger, like conflict, softening, love. There's something about to like it abrupts and erupts and like go up and like a type of smoke to a smother that like it like is not popping off. So you see this and you see artist manifestation. Like I want to say there's some creativity, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. There's something about that. Something about that. All right, animal spirit oracle. Excuse me. Okay. There's something of like charge, like positive charge, like I'm seeing a battery of negative ion, but that makes no sense. It's a double like adjective. But when I see beaver and you see like the way, like the energy, it's just kind of pulling back, and some people are gonna like, no, that's just goddamn like space right now. It really is chill. Like it really is hard energy. You go and you see the mouse and you see the tarantula again, like double adjective. It's saying you see a buffalo and I see the deer, I hear gate. It's a gate that is like almost to the blue stone. I'll show you what a gate is. A gate is like so clear blue that you can see through it. It's absolutely beautiful. But when I see this and I see black egg, then it like closes right up. Closes right up. So when I look at the bat and then I look at cheetah and then I look at cobra, there's like a type of sting that actually comes through. There's something of like known of like a regrowing. Here we go. Patrick Tarot, what do we need to know about this today? Known. Senses, something about the senses. Really hard, really hard. There's something about money, there's something about balance, there's something about like lit, something about like candlelight, candelabra. Here we go. Archangel Gabriel. You go, there is like no like message of protective. And then when you see this and you see winged message, like chatter, there's like a little chatter everywhere. And then all of a sudden you see the Queen of Scrolls, like something like arrives or shows up. It could be in the mail, it could be on knock on the door, it could be anything that it is opposing views, the views of the ego. So when you see the ego, it is a perceptive super perspective of oneself. It really has no like wisdom, will, or mind that comes in through. When you see this and you see the scribe in reverse, like something's not written that like I hear should be written, but maybe not written. It's odd, but when I hear writ, it's a type of like cast out with like wrought iron that is like rusty. Let me try to get back to that. What do we need to know about writ? WRIT. It has nothing to do with writing. It actually has to do with magic. It has to do with like spellcraft. Highly obscured. I see like streaks of light through the blinds. When I see this and I see initiation and the Count of Saint Germain, there was like something new. It was like a broken commitment because we see the commitment card in reverse, like a type of marriage. Always remember that a contract is a type of marriage. So if you have a soul contract, you could actually be married to somebody. When you see this and you see the ascent, and you see this and you see loving elementals, there's something about mineral deposits. When you see this and you see the sands of time in reverse, you can't like take back like a hold of time. It's saying you actually have to go about. Let's talk about let's call in some mediumship. What do we need to know about the obscurities, about soul contracts and cake and anything like that? It's like cold out. It's like old, cold out. Everything is old. It's cold. It's out. So when it's cold out, they solidify. When they solidify it, it's like everything is done. Their contracts are done in the winter, and like it becomes like a continuance on. So when I see again, like this card keeps coming out, the Five of Forces, summer and winter, I go, really, you really can't fall for it, but you can be anew. You can renew yourself. So when I see the willow, there's something about like a tree gang, like sloths, on the tree. Like why am I getting sloths on the tree? When it has to do with soul contracts, when it's talking about obscurities, like things that are unseen, and like cake contracts. Like you almost like they fell for it. It's a nuisance, and it's like something odd. It's something really odd. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Here, pull from the middle of the deck. Balance again comes out. Balance. It has to do with money balance. Now, when I see this, there's like the chess game in reverse. Like, you can't actually like do the win, like the game. Like, I kept hearing like today as I went about my day, it was like redact back, retract back, and like give it all you got. And then you go, how can you do that when you have all that stuff together? Here we go. So I see this and I see the Pleiadian Oracle. All right, rooted light and set your vibration is like it has to do with the supermoon, this wolf super moon, full moon. It literally takes the cake. Rooted. It's gonna cause like are you seeing this like correctly again? Are you seeing this like in visions? Are you seeing this like passionate? When you look at it and you see light language, they're kind of like no, like get out of here, like get out of here. And then you go like when you see this, I keep seeing a vision of a target, and the target is like an archery target, and it has to do with like the way that it like pulls out when you see this and you see the golden egg and you see the portals and you see the sound codex, something about opening doors, something about the way shown and presented. I'm seeing like teenagers in the 90s, the way they like held themselves and kind of like went like pulled on back, it like meant something. So when you see Star Family and you see service, you actually see it come on in. And when you see it and you see Pakal's too, there's something like in the background when you see it at night, and I feel like it is connected to the current events because there's something about creativity about like past life. Now, I mean, we'll put that question out there. Was President former Maduro looking at like soul contracts? Because that contract and everything like came up. I don't know, why am I saying that? Like, why would we actually like do this? There's something about transmitting, something about being heard, but it's not heard. It's HERD, herd, like a herd of cattle. Uh, um, like, why would we actually be doing that? Right. So they went like what we talked about. They went in Venezuela. Excuse me. And they went to the Ace of Cups. It's like intuitive. It was like psychic, and they were left there. I feel there's a bit of like a mediumship, and then it was like a type of like alleviation of everything. You just couldn't even like get it out. All right. So you see this, and you see the Queen of Pentacles to like the Two of Pentacles to like the Six of Swords in reverse. Like everything was sitting fine in ruins, and then when the ruins like came and left, like you couldn't even make it up. There's something about this man and the Mayan ruins, and there's something about ancestors. There's something about monkeys now, and there's something about like paper on the table. When you look at this and you go the Ten of Swords to the Knight of Swords to the Vibrat, like they keep talking about how much loss of money was in Venezuela, even down to unable to have their pets. Like it was illegal to have pets down there. There was a working together of a soon, S-O-O-N, a soon. Okay, let's go to the Lenormands. What do we have to think about the Lenormands, and then we'll talk about it in the runes. Okay, something about regal and royalty when it comes to soul contracts that has to do with like cake. I'm seeing France. I'm seeing regal royalty. They would have like actually solidified something, especially with royal bloodlines, that you're on like a track of your life. Here it is. It's in a book. There's something about in a book. It's a resolution book, but it's from like I'm seeing the 1200s and the 1900s. There's only two time periods that we need to know about this. So when I see it and I see this, like, then I'm seeing like Christopher Columbus, I'm seeing the Pilgrims, I'm seeing this. So is this related to like Plymouth Rock, this obscurity about cake? Okay. Let me get my runes out here. All right. There's something about living like a living will. Something about havoc. Something about obituary. Fated. All contracts. Something about like time of deaths. All contracts. Like it's kind of like I almost I'll have like a bitter taste at the tip of my tongue on that one. Instinct. This rune. A gift. Something about wealth. Something about like and I see Degar. I'm seeing about day shift. Something about day shift. Something about like like a smoke a chocoloca hoke, and about cake. Why do I see this like imaginary wheel and a party and an eel? Now, when I see this and I see Nadis, it's something about collecting together, getting together. Something about like bird, like something about New Year's. Again, like a vacation. There's like a vacation that came in. What do we need to know? When I see this, I see like lake and laken and like lichen and down to like leach fields, wells, something about defense. When you see this and you see like joy, when you see this, you go, you can't even talk about it. You can't even. There's something about heritage and culture, and say down to blood cultures. So I'm seeing this like come out again about the soul contracts, about the 3D and the 5D and the ascension, and to elevate. And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't think you want to elevate. I really don't. There's something about GI tract and instinct with us. When I see this, it's something about warrior. They were talking about warriors coming in, quite a few psychics. When I see this and I see hidden game perso, something known, trolling. I'm seeing that like stone, like a uh, rolling golem, rolling golem. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's something of like a containment issue. So let's talk about what I know and what I've learned about what this is, and it is going to go against a little bit of science. So when it comes to the 3D, the actual like tangible definition of the 3D consciousness is when it is known, and when it is known, like you actually can't actually like do much. They're like you got dinged in the head, and you start kind of like seeing the stars. When you see like stars, and you get to 5D, 5D shouldn't even like do anything to you. The 5D should have like a little bit of distortion of like visual disturbance, but you really should be more like on a staple order. These people who are on like a staple order, like 3D, 5D, and all of it, um, like they really can't work much. But how can you prove that in insurance? Like, and how this happened to a degree? Because it can come out of nowhere. Like people can still like throw energy and hit you out of nowhere. Now, when that goes and you go to elevate is a sure path. What I've heard as a visiting nurse and working with the public, it literally means when they're smoking a bong. Now, when this actually comes to it and you see this and you go, you know, it really is hard. And ascension is when you actually like lift up a little bit, like your body naturally all of a sudden like you sit straight up. That is ascension. Like it, like everything clicks on, and like you're aligned and attuned, and your chakras are on. And if they do a time test through listening, you should be able to hear a ring. Now, when I see this and I see like Ace of Pentacles in reverse, there's no money offers, there's no anything. When you see this and you see the Nine of Swords, it's gonna cause anxiety. There's like that's not how we learned it, but truly there are star seeds and crystal children here. They are more susceptible to anything else because they're so high vibrational, so high vibrational. So when you actually go and you try to sit with like Reiki and cranial sacral therapy and massage and all of those like holistic healings, you really have to make sure they're also aluned and aluned. ALUNE, aluned. That literally means like be at best. Ace of Wands, you go, no, like you can't actually, Ace of Wands, like it kind of gets spirited. I feel like something's coming in that's going to be a little bit spirited. When you see this and you see the Page of Cups, oh my gosh, it's like young offers coming in. They're like, can you do this? Can you actually really do this? When you look at this and you go the Four of Swords, there's something of being like at rest. So I feel like maybe there is some, maybe there isn't, ready to take that huge soul change. But I'm really not seeing like I feel like there's a huge gap in it. When I see this and I see the Four of Cups, it is kind of apathetic. And when you look at the moon in reverse, it looks like crazy talk. So when I see this, and lastly with this, the Nine of Cups, like there's something about like no to it, no to it, no to it. So the Six of Wands actually is like no victory, and like we said, no Valkyrie coming in. And something is known. Something is known. We'll end here in a minute or two. Okay. What do we need to know? like everything is at noontime for some reason in the next week. Everything is at noontime. Everything is about soul contracts. Everything is about how everything is like known and fun, and it's like due, and you see this and it goes like right into February, and I'm seeing February, it like wants to go into March, but it doesn't. I'm seeing all of a sudden there's a huge gap and it's September. So that's all the universe wants us to know. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.